Remember, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. The makers of Hallmark greeting cards bring you a true story of a little girl who didn't have a penny in her pocket, but who carried the riches of the world in her heart. A true story of America, land of the Pilgrims' pride. Folks, the newest way to make youngsters happy is to send them Hallmark dolls. They're the newest idea in greeting cards. They're the newest thing in inexpensive gifts for the little folks. So be sure to see the Hallmark dolls. Send them soon to every youngster you know. And now, to preside over our program, here is your Hallmark host, Tom Shirley.
Thank you, Hugh Conover, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a story for you tonight that's so different, I think it will haunt you as it does me. It's about a girl in a dress made of flower sacking, a girl called Martha. You might say Martha was a victim of family sentiments, but Martha would get hopping mad if you called her the victim of anything. She'd tell you her great-great-grandfather was a barge captain. He was until the railroads took his business. Then he just pulled his barge up on the shore of the canal and settled in it, and his descendants after him. Today there isn't much left but a creek and the pride in Martha's heart. But I promise you, you'll never forget either. To play the part of Martha, there's a girl beside me who looks too young to be one of the finest actresses in show business. Her name is Betty Filson. So now, come up to the creek with us as the makers of Hallmark greeting cards bring you on the Reader's Digest radio edition the strangely moving story, Land of the Pilgrims' Pride.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty.
Little girl. Little girl.
Hello, mister.
Hello there. Are you Martha?
Yes.
They told me you'd sell me some frogs.
Yes, sir. 3 cents apiece.
Well, that's not much.
I don't cheat you summer visitors, mister.
I'm glad of that. Well, I'm going to do a lot of fishing. I'll take 50 frogs.
Yes, sir. With all those frogs, you'll want one of these boxes.
What are they?
You carry the frogs in them. It's better than a pail. The frogs can't jump out. And see, this side pulls out like a bureau drawer, and you can get at the frogs real easy.
That's very ingenious. Who thought that up?
I did, sir.
How much is it?
It's free, sir.
Free?
Yes, sir. You have to give it back to me at the end of the summer, that's all.
Well, you know, you could get money for it if you wanted to.
Yes, sir, but I don't cheat the summer visitors. And besides, you'll keep on buying my frogs if I give you something free.
You're quite a little businesswoman, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
You live in that shack down there?
That's not a shack. That's a house. My father owns that house, free and clear. That's a home. Don't you go calling it a shack. I'll go and get your frogs, mister.
That was Martha. In a way, this is all about Martha, but in a way, it's all about America, too. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Martha's family, Crickers. That means they live near the creek, which folks call the Creek hereabouts. Real all-American stock, fought in the French and Indian War, fought in the Revolution. First to join up in every war there's been, even this last war. Martha's father tried to get into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I want to join up, because I think it's my duty to lick the tar out of anybody that says we can't have liberty.
Liberty in that shack. Freedom without enough to eat or wear. Peculiar people, the Crickers. Take the time they wrote to the selectmen.
The Honorable Selectmen, gentlemen, you have allowed private interest to put up a mill which sends its waste into the creek. We believe our American streams were meant to be kept as God made them, and we demand that you see to it that the mill is closed in the public interest.
It did them no good, of course. The selectmen said they were riffraff, meaning they were poor. They hunted and fished and got along. Just about got along. Shiftless, everyone said. But but there wasn't a single critter on relief. And when a well-intentioned lady went down to the creek one day and sounded off about low standards and hygiene and offered a basket of food and some old clothes to Martha's pa, well...
We got clothes. We got food. And if we didn't, we wouldn't want yours. We're free-born folks, and it's nobody's business how we live.
That's Martha's background. Now let's take another look at Martha. Let's look at her in school. It's recess.
My country is a sweet land of liberty.
Martha? Martha, I've been looking for you outdoors. What are you doing in here?
Thinking, ma'am.
You were singing.
Well, I always sing when I think, ma'am.
I see. Well, Martha,
I was thinking about the contest.
Contest?
Yes, ma'am, the elocution contest.
Oh, I see. I noticed you weren't with the other girls eating lunch.
No, ma'am.
Did you have any lunch?
Oh, who wants lunch?
Most people.
I didn't feel hungry today.
You mean you didn't have any lunch to eat?
I mean I didn't feel hungry.
I've noticed there are lots of times when you, don't feel hungry.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I can get along fine without lunch.
I have a couple of sandwiches left, Martha.
Have you?
Yes. Don't you want some?
No, ma'am. I don't feel hungry.
All right. Oh, what are you going to recite in the elocution contest?
I haven't decided. That's what I was thinking about.
I have a copy of an oration at the tomb of Napoleon. I could let you have that.
Oh, I wouldn't want to recite that.
Why not?
Napoleon was a Frenchman.
Don't you like the French?
Yes, ma'am. I think the French are fine people.
Well, then.
But I'm an American. I ought to recite something American.
Just as you please. I have some good American pieces.
No, thank you, ma'am.
Why not, Martha?
If I'm going to recite anything, it ought to be something that comes from right down deep in my heart.
That's a perfectly sound idea.
Yes, ma'am. So I've got to sit here and puzzle about it for a while.
Oh.
I've got to find out what I want to recite. Then I might look at your pieces and see if any of them fill the bill.
All right, Martha. You, puzzle it out. Oh, Martha.
Yes, ma'am?
You're sure you don't want a sandwich?
No, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Goodbye, ma'am.
Goodbye, ma'am. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrims' bride, from every mountain side, let
Hi, Marthy. Where's the other kids?
Down the creek playing.
They hungry?
They will be.
They won't eat.
Nothing to eat.
Nothing to eat.
Wish we had some farmland.
So do I.
Wish it was summer. I could make a lot selling frogs to the summer people.
Yep, but it ain't summer.
Gee, Pa. Remember the day you got that whole sack of potatoes? Remember?
I sure do.
Gee, how we ate. And for days afterwards. You know something, Pa?
What?
I think those were the happiest days we ever had, don't you?
Just about. Yep.
Oh, wish we had a sack of potatoes now.
Well, we haven't. Guess I better hunt tonight.
It's not legal this time of year.
I know. It's not legal any time to hunt the way I'm going to hunt.
You want a jacklight deer?
Yep. Hunt 'em with a line.
It's not legal.
I know. But it's legal for you and the youngsters to starve. That's legal. Or it's legal to go on relief.
You go ahead and jacklight deer, Pa.
You sure you saw a light in the woods, Sam?
Positive.
Well, I'll be switched if I like this getting out of bed before dawn. Just to see if someone's hunting out of season. Better be true.
It is true. Up on the hill where my house is, you can see the woods clear as clear. I watched the light for half an hour before I reported to you.
Well, I haven't seen the sign of a light yet.
Don't worry. One of those crickers is hunting here, sure as sure.
In a way, I don't blame him.
It's against the law. Ought to be stopped.
Maybe. But it won't be, you know. Catch this guy, tell him he has to appear in court. He'll go in hiding for a week or so.
Well, see here, Warden, I'm a citizen, and I say the town is too easy on those crickers. If this fella does go into hiding, you ought to nab him when he comes home again, and I'm going to see that you do it.
All right, Sam.
Hey, look. Where? There. Isn't that a light?
Yes, it is.
Let's go. Let's get him.
Quiet. All right, you. Put down that gun.
Oh, it's you, Warden.
Yep. You're all through hunting for the night, my friend.
Yeah, guess I am.
And jacklighting, too. Warden, he's broke the law on 2 counts.
I suppose you're the one that reported me, Sam.
You bet I am.
What have you got against us crickers, anyhow? What do you keep bothering us for?
Because you're lawbreakers.
We are, huh? And the shady deals you pull in town with mortgages and all, they're within the law, huh?
You can't talk to me that way,
Well, talk
cricker.
any way I want.
Wait a minute. Break it up, boys. Listen, Cricker, I'm sorry, but you'll have to report to the Justice of the Peace when he opens up at 10 today.
I was very happy when I walked into this schoolroom today and saw that so many of you parents had come to listen to the elocution contest. I think you're going to like a new feature of the contest this year. Each student is going to tell us, before he or she speaks, just why he selected the piece he's reciting. Now, we'll start the contest in a moment, but first there's a small matter that must be attended to. Oh, Martha.
Yes, ma'am?
Would you come into the corridor with me, please?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
This gentleman wants to talk with you, Martha.
Oh. Hello, Warden.
Hello, Martha.
I guess you must have caught my father.
Yes, I did. Before dawn. Didn't he come home?
No, Warden.
Do you know where he is?
I suppose he's back in the woods hunting some more.
You don't have to tell me that.
I don't mind telling the truth. He's got to hunt. We're a little short of food.
Martha, why didn't you tell me?
It's none of your concern, ma'am. We can take care of ourselves.
I suppose you realize your daddy broke the law.
Yes. That's what bothers me. I'm in favor of the law.
Well, Sam Wakeman is insisting that we prosecute. Now, if you know where your daddy is, I want you to tell me. The Justice of the Peace is waiting for him.
I don't know any more than I told you already. Warden, can I go down and talk to the Justice of the Peace in his place?
Well, I
But
suppose...
Martha, the elocution contest.
I can't help it about the contest, ma'am. My father broke the law. Let's go, Warden.
We'll be back in just a minute with the second act of tonight's drama, presented by the makers of Hallmark greeting cards from the pages of the Reader's Digest, America's favorite magazine. And now here's Grandpa and a very excited little pig.
Oh, Grandpa, guess what Aunt Beth brought me today? What? Another Hallmark doll. Now I've got 5. See? This one's Little Bo Peep. Here, read me the story inside.
Well, this is the story of little Bo Peep, who one summer day lost her little white sheep. But somehow she knew that wherever they'd roam at nighttime, her little white sheep would come home. And then, sure enough, long before it was late, the little white sheep wandered in through the gate, the most sheepish sheep that you ever did see. They knew they had been just as bad as could be. But little Bo Peep fondly patted each one and said, "I forgive you for what you have done." She told them good night, and she went right to bed, but not right to sleep, for she fretted instead, for she had not counted her sheep, and she knew that though it was late, it was what she should do, 'cause one little sheep might be out in the cold. So little Bo Peep hurried out to the fold. She counted her sheep one by one where they lay, then went back to bed and to sleep right away. And maybe that's why we have all heard it said, if ever we find when we first go to bed and try very hard but just can't go to sleep, like little Bo Peep, we should try counting sheep.
That, folks, is the story of Bo Peep, one of the 8 wonderful new Hallmark dolls. Why not introduce your youngsters to this brand new kind of fun, collecting Hallmark dolls? They're greeting cards, but more, they're clever dolls from the land of make-believe. They're gay and colorful front and back, stand 8 inches tall, and all have jaunty plumes in their hats. See Bo Peep, Cinderella, and all the other Hallmark dolls first thing tomorrow. Yes, see them soon. Send them often to every youngster you know. Now, back to Land of the Pilgrims' Pride. This is about Martha, 12-year-old Martha, who is going to be in an elocution contest today, but instead has gone with the game warden to the office of the Justice of the Peace because her father has broken the law.
Where is your father, Martha?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I suppose he's back in the woods.
He doesn't know, Judge. Isn't that enough?
The warden's trying to keep me from saying that my father's probably back in the woods hunting again.
I don't want to hear that either.
Well, it's true, and I don't blame him.
Yes. Well, I think I'll take the legal position that that's hearsay. We won't discuss it.
Well, Judge, if I tell you that my father's away on business, and I want to appear for him, is that all right? Can I?
Well, it's irregular, but I think I'll allow it.
Good.
I've got another case which takes precedence.
Judge,
Yes, Warden?
couldn't you take this case first?
What?
I don't want any favors. I'll wait my turn.
Well, this girl is in an elocution contest up to school. The contest is on right now, and she'll
Oh, well, all right. I'll hear this case now. The charge?
Hunting deer out of season. Jacklighting deer.
How does your father plead, young lady?
Say not guilty, Martha.
Guilty.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I know he's guilty. He broke the law.
Well, then I'll have to sentence him. Martha, your father is a cricket, and you're a cricket.
And proud of it, sir.
Yes, but you know, all you crickets make a mistake. You think it's all right to do some things that we just are not allowed to do. I'd like to see you get over that idea. I'd like to have you promise that your father won't hunt deer out of season, and especially with a lantern. Now, maybe if you promise that, I can ease the sentence a little.
I can't promise a thing like that.
Well, you know, Martha, we aren't living back in the days when Americans roamed these forests and mountains free as air doing what they wanted. We've all had to give up some of our freedom for the sake of the greater good.
That's a mighty fine expression, Judge. The greater good. I'd like to remember that expression.
Fine, I hope you do remember it. Well, I suppose a bright girl like you wants to make a plea for her father.
Make a plea?
Yes. That means I suppose you want to say something that will make me lighten your father's sentence.
Oh, no, sir, no, sir. My father broke the law, and I'll pay the fine he's supposed to pay. We aren't asking any favors.
You're sure?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll pass sentence. I hereby fine your father $25.
$25? Oh, Judge, could you wait for the money until after the summer season's all over? I'll be selling a lot of frogs then.
Young lady, you didn't let me finish.
Oh, is there more?
Yes, there is. Oh. You said you had no plea to lighten your father's sentence. So I fined him $25. But you also said you were asking no favors. And that was the best plea you could have made. So I hereby suspend that sentence. Now, for heaven's sakes, get back to your elocution contest.
And so, while the judges are coming to a decision, I think it would be
Please, ma'am.
Martha, you're back.
Yes, ma'am. Could I recite my piece, please?
Why, yes. Yes, I think it's only fair to give you your chance, Martha. Come right up here to the front of the room.
Will I start now?
Yes, Martha, and remember, you have to explain why you selected your piece.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am. The reason I selected my piece is because I wanted to recite something that would be very American. I'm an American, and my family is American, and I tried to figure out what that meant. I decided it meant that we liked freedom, and that we wanted to be independent, so that we wouldn't owe anybody anything. So I decided to recite something that helped us to make all of us free and independent. My piece is the preamble to the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity.
The judges say that because of sincerity in delivery, the first prize goes to Martha.
That's Martha. And in a way, that's all there is to say about Martha, except one big important thing. What goes on inside a girl like that is something we never know. We see her proud, independent, tossing her head, her eyes level and serious, and we never know what really goes on in her mind. Most of us don't. But Mr. Davis, the summer visitor, he got a glimpse of it one day. All summer long, he had bought frogs for Martha, and when he was leaving to go back to the city, he returned the box she had given him to keep the frogs in.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Davis.
Well, thank you, Martha. You've helped make this a pleasant summer for me.
It was a good summer anyway. Not much rain.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Davis.
Oh, no, you're not going to get rid of me this easily, Martha. Here, I have something for you.
I don't take presents, Mr. Davis.
Why, Martha, we all take presents from the people who like it.
Well, I don't take them. But I take presents from my young brothers and sisters.
Oh. Well, that's fine. Let's say this is for them. You see, it's candy. I was going to give it to you and ask that you let them have some of it, but instead it could be the other way around.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
You're welcome.
Oh, I didn't notice. It's men made out of maple sugar.
That's right.
Gee, isn't it nice?
I don't think your brothers and sisters would mind if you took a piece now, Martha.
No, I don't want a piece. They probably won't want a piece for a while either.
What do you mean?
I mean, we'll all just want to look at this candy for a while before we eat it.
Poor Martha.
What do you mean, poor?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking, Martha. I hope you have a fine year in the 8th grade.
I've made enough money from selling bait to get us all ready for school. I got dresses and shoes and coats and a pencil box for each one. And I had enough money left over to buy pink paint for our shutters.
Martha, what do you want to do when you grow up?
I'd like to be a teacher.
Not get married?
No, I won't ever get married. I don't know whether I'd like to or not, because a girl can't know that until she's grown up. Getting married It doesn't seem like much fun to me right now. But I know it might later.
Yet you say you won't get married even if you like the idea later on.
That's right. We've got a big family. I'm needed here at home. So I'll be a teacher and live here.
Martha, do you remember the old fairy tales, the ones where the princesses get 3 wishes?
Yes?
Well, what if you had 3 wishes? You could wish for anything in the world. What would you wish for?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I wish you'd try to think. I'm curious, Martha. I'd like to know what you really long for. Riches?
No, sir.
Fine clothes?
Well, they'd be nice, but I get along all right without them.
Travel? Maybe you'd like to visit different lands. Or maybe, wouldn't it be interesting to go to Hollywood, see them making movies?
Oh, I've been to the movies. The ladies were silly, and the men, too. They didn't act like people here.
Well, Martha, you name it then. If you had those 3 wishes, what would you wish for?
I don't know. I really wouldn't know what to wish for. You can see for yourself. I've got everything.
Betty Tilson, that was great. I don't think any of us are going to forget Martha after that performance. You might want to know what became of Martha. As far as I know, Martha's still living in the barge in the shore of the creek. She must be in high school now, and I have a feeling she stands at the head of her class. After her story came out in the Reader's Digest, a lot of people wrote and asked for Martha's address. They wanted to send her presents. But nobody got Martha's address. She didn't need presents, not when she had her pride.
Folks, get Hallmark dolls for children's party favors, for gay new place cards, or whole sets of these lovable dolls for exciting birthday prizes. Yes, for any occasion, buy lovable Hallmark dolls. See them soon, send them often. 1 a week will be a treat for any youngster you know. The price, only 25 cents apiece. Remember, buy Hallmark dolls where you buy Hallmark cards.
This is Tom Shirley inviting you to be with us again next week. At that time, you will hear a true story spun of the fiber from which America itself is made. A human drama set in a small mill town in the deep south. There you'll meet the town's loafer and his daughter Sally. You'll hear their story, a story which might have been anyone's, in next week's fine dramatic program brought to you by the makers of Hallmark greeting cards. I wish I could be with you next week to tell you more about it, but I'm leaving for a short vacation. But in my place to act as your Hallmark host until I return on July 24th will be my good friend and fine actor, Les Tremaine.
Land of the Pilgrim's Pride was dramatized by Robert Senadella from Dorothy Walworth's article in the Reader's Digest, America's favorite magazine. The Hallmark program was directed by Mark Slobe, with music especially composed by Jack Miller. This is Hugh Conover speaking for the makers of Hallmark greeting cards. Buy Hallmark dolls where you buy Hallmark cards. Remember, a Hallmark card will best express your perfect taste, your thoughtfulness. Stay tuned for Herbert Marshall in The Man Called X, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is the WBBM Air Theater, Wrigley Building, Chicago.